We have now already done a lot of work, and the different layers for the MVVM application seem to be falling in place. But things aren't working at this point just yet. In this part, I will introduce you to using a ViewModel locator to link things together. Now, why are things not working, you may be thinking? We've done a lot of work and our simple application isn't working. Well, the answer is this. We still need to let the different blocks in our MVVM application know about each other. In a typical MVVM setup, the view will need to know about its view model. The view model in turn will need to know about the model it needs to work with. It's also vital to see that there is no direct link between the view and the model, since we won't have any code in the code behind of the view that directly interacts with the model. But that brings up the next question. How do we create the link between the view and the view model then? One of the goals of MVVM is loose coupling. We don't want to create tight dependencies, since that will detract from the testability. Testing will become harder if we don't create loosely coupled layers. We've already seen that the view will use data binding to bind onto the view model. But how does it know which view model to bind to? Well, when using MVVM, there are in fact two approaches to this problem. We can create the link between the view and the view model using a view-first approach or a view model-first approach. In Xamarin Forms, the view-first approach is typically used. This means that we will navigate to a view, and the view will know which view model it needs to use. View model first also works, but mostly relies on XAML features which we don't have in Xamarin Forms XAML. A very simple approach to getting things to work is what you see here. Here, the view is informed about which view model it needs to work with using the binding context property. Its binding context property is set to an instance of the view model, here, for example, by overview view model. While this works, it's a pretty tightly coupled way of doing things, if you ask me. We'll see another way in just a minute that I prefer.